All right, guys, what is up? We are back with round number 3 of the Pro Play Games Presents Dragon Ball Super National Championship Qualifier here at beautiful Orlando, Florida. I still have special guest James Oh, no, I'm sorry. What was his name? Oh, it's David Fujimura. I was the wrong Kitchener Meta player. My bad. Here, casting with me in the booth. We do have James Campbell on the right from Kitchener Meta, facing off against Marcel Russell on the left, playing Galactic Frieza. Pretty excited for this matchup. We have two fantastic players here, Marcel Russell being just one of the best players in the world, and James Campbell is, not too bad, I guess.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's okay.
He just,
I'll say this. I would say James Campbell is maybe one of the best or decent announcer player.
Yeah.
I think that's a good description for him.
He's been putting in a lot of work with this announcer.
Absolutely. This is his third event in a row actually playing announcer. Fantastic announcer player. Been playing it quite a bit. We've seen a lot of different builds that he's been working on in the group chat. Definitely his pet deck and one that he really enjoys playing. Now Marcel Russell on the left just plays a different Tier 2, Tier 3 leader every event and just decimates with it.
Yeah.
So very scary player, very well-rounded player, very good matchup. We'll see what's going to happen here.
I will say, Dusty, I'm in a little bit of a predicament.
What's wrong?
On one side, we got our brother, James Campbell,
Well,
playing with our...
brother's we have our acquaintance, James Campbell, on the right.
Well,
we have to give him a little bit of...
I've been helping him with this deck a little
Okay,
bit. We've been working on this deck. He has a couple of new techs in here to help his game against the format. And on one side, we have Marcel Russell playing my favorite leader, Galactic Frieza. So I don't know who to root for here.
Well...
I'm thinking, is it okay if I just root for both?
Yeah, it's absolutely okay if you root for both. And I'll tell you what, in fact, I encourage it. I think both players are fantastic. I'm gonna have to give the advantage to Marcel Russell. I'll tell you what, it's like Marcel Russell is like that racehorse that he just wins every event, right? And so it's like, it's hard to bet against him.
He's just the safe bet.
Right, he's the safe bet. And I think he's a fantastic player. And I know I just literally changed that to not expose. By the way, never buy a Logitech webcam. I'm going to say that right now. Because it always... There we go. All right. I'm sure I'm going to have to change it again in next round too, but that's okay. Okay, let's actually get
guys,
to this.
I grabbed y'all the deck list, so you have a little insider knowledge now.
Yeah, so we have both deck lists for both players, and we can give you a little insight, a little play-by-play as they kind of go about what they're doing. So Marcel Russell here, he's playing Galactic Frieza. He decided to opt for a mono yellow. There's no
pop
blue,
the chat up?
which is pretty interesting because we've been in a meta that's pretty defined by blue.
I wonder why he's choosing not to run blue.
Good question.
No, I think he told me yesterday when we were talking that this deck was inspired by maybe a Patreon or a acquaintance of the team or a local player maybe or something. So. Yeah, I might have something to do with it. But I know it's a pretty yellow-based deck. I know that he runs Ox King and stuff to protect his low drops, which is really cool. But it's hard for me not to find at least because to me you can just play 4 Sensu Bean and charge 1 and use the other 3. To me that's perfectly viable. But we'll see. Can we get the chat up, please?
So from looking at his list, it's looking like he's exposed the weakness of blue-yellow Hirudegarn not having 4 flutes anymore. So flutes got restricted down to 1.
Right.
And part of losing those was you weren't able to reuse your scrambling Assault Sun Gohans. Or Goten, sorry. you weren't be able to reuse them. They would get an attack in, look at the top 3, put a card in hand, and more than likely next turn they would die.
Right.
And with the Galactic Frieza leader, he's found a way to consistently
Reuse
ready
them.
them and re-attack with them.
So actually, in theory, we'll say in theory, there are ways to kill it, but very few. If you play Ox King and Gotens, then they actually can never die.
That would be correct.
Right, because they have barrier and they untap. So there are cards that kill them, right? Like you can attack them with a Jiren 4-drop, for example. There are ways to kill them. But in theory, with a lot of the removal and stuff we see currently in the game, a lot of cards we see played, not very many cards can pressure them once they're in that situation.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for James.
And chances are they've got so much value off of their attacks that you can protect them and not negative, not neg through that protection.
Yeah, and to go along with that, he has the as you can see, the Chaozu and the Krillin duo from the World Tournament. And he's really using Chaozu to its full ability, because Chaozu gets a boost when a Krillin comes into play for the turn. And then typically, if you were to play this in, like, say, Announcer, the Chaozu would be able to get the boost, swing, and then more than likely be very susceptible to die next turn. So he's really using the Galactic Frieza auto.
Yeah, now he's awakened, he can actually
potential.
untap 2. Which is going to be pretty huge here. We'll see what he chooses to do. It looks like he's choosing Videl and Chaozu, which I like, because Chaozu is being readied, like you said, allows him to still put pressure, which is really cool, but it also allows him to draw more cards, right? The more Chaozu's out, the more cards you draw off Krillin.
Yep.
So that's also another kind of benefit.
Yeah, so he definitely has ways to keep up with the hand advantage leaders like Announcer and Hercule. So another thing to note about Marcel's deck is he's playing not only the Pure-Hearted Son Goku super combo, he is playing 2 Shigesh.
Ooh. This is a Marcel's?
Mm-hmm.
And they're both in hand.
So what is he going to try to Shigesh in? Does he run Kid Goku?
He runs...
Little baby Goku?
It's looking like he's playing the Championship Pack Goku.
Ooh, so that's a free
That's
cost,
a free
30,000.
30K. And with Ox King, it's barrier. So that's never going to... That's a lot of pressure.
I don't mind it. Do you mind it?
I'm kind of excited to see how this plays out. All right, so James is using his Ototsukis to keep the board from getting out of hand.
Right.
We saw that happen the turn before. That's how we got rid of the Gotens, and now he's getting rid of this Krillin Chaozu combo right now, and he's definitely keeping his board in check. But
I wonder if he's going to use Shigesh here.
I don't know. Maybe he could. He has the Shigesh in hand, and he has the Goku in hand.
His opponent's in a situation where he can't remove it, right? He only has two. He has 2 open energy, so he can't.
Yeah. He might not.
I guess he could have another Otonosuke, right?
Yeah, he could have another one, but he can only use the auto from the Trunks once per turn.
Oh, sure.
So he might be waiting for the trigger to go off. So now he can safely put the Goku into play since he doesn't have the Ox King.
Well, what I noticed is James has only got 5 cards in hand. Normally, by the time he has 4 energy, his hand is 12, 15 cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's part of him trying to keep the pressure on the board from overwhelming him. He's right now his hand advantage is really going down from these Trunks Ototsukis. So, while James is winning the board game, he is losing in the hand game.
Absolutely.
And now with this Mass Saiyan, he's completely turned the tides.
And he just gripped another Go team.
All right, announcer counter. Pretty good trade. You use your discard pile for warp, and I stop it with a announcer that I get a draw off of. All right, comes another Goten swing in. Look at the top three. He's going to choose Videl. Looks like snap pick Videl here.
Gravity Boost says, have you noticed top players in the game don't do the shuffle flick in their hands? You can see James Campbell do it. Marcel definitely doesn't do it as much. It's honestly something that comes down to the player.
I do. I'm not a top player, but I do. I shuffle quite a bit in my hand. That's like my thinking process.
So, checking out both these deck lists, we could come down to a battering war. They both are playing 2 batterings main. So, we might just see battering, like you say, in some games.
Battering, one of the best finishers in the game, as it turns out. Use it to protect your big threats and from a counter, and then a lot of times players will kind of hinge on the fact that they get that free counter, and when it gets battering, that really, really puts a wrench in a lot of players' plans.
Those Susugeshi just scare me.
Does he have Baby Goku in the deck?
Kid Goku?
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
Sideboard?
Nope.
Okay.
Looks
so
like
it's just for the 3-cost 30K.
Yeah, it looks like he's just playing out the 30K. You can also play out
Well, I mean, you can Scrambling Assault.
the
Videl.
Gotens.
Little Goku, what does this card do?
This is the yellow super combo. He might be playing it out to get a swing in.
Interesting.
Oh no, he's just comboing with it.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Where was the attack from?
The Galactic Frieza leader.
There it is.
And
There's the Sugesh.
oh no, he was comboing with the attack, so he was attacking. So it's James's turn, and now it's Marcel's.
So now the Ox King comes down.
Where is it?
I think that Marcel's starting to charge his Bardox. They've done their work. They've got him awakened. He doesn't really need him anymore.
His only target to swap into are Gotens and Videls. So, considering he lost a couple of Gotens early, and one of the Videls
well,
is in
I think that's what
play,
he took.
and in the energy, he probably is getting pretty low on targets. But this matchup is looking not so great in James's favor. Announcer being a leader that you don't really want to awaken leaves it susceptible to Goten attacks. So they just create so much value.
Marcel just battering laser the Videl. That's huge. He doesn't get a draw from that either, right?
No, it doesn't come into play, so he doesn't get the draw and the negate and the body.
James is going to take it. Goes to 3. Marcel still with 4 energy open.
And it's looking like Marcel's going to have to get him down to 2. So he's going to be really pushing for this last life here to go for the kill.
Marcel have Ox King in hand? I can't see.
He does. He has at least one in hand.
James throwing out battery laser here for the Flying Nimbus. All right, Grandpa Gohan. Swap into Goten. Attacks with Goten here. Marcel just look at the top 3 again. Man, I'll tell you, if Marcel can play Ox King here, I feel like his board's pretty well protected. I'm not sure if James can beat this 3-drop 30K. Seems like a lot for the announcer to get through. His only way to beat it, obviously, is to keep playing counters, but he's been used a lot of them.
And he's expired most of his trunks already. He has.
Oh, there's the Ox King. Nice. Okay. So what's the untap here? Probably untap Goku and Videl?
I would say. I don't think you untap the Goku because it's going to be almost impossible for you to swing into that favorably.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's a 30K.
Yep.
You know, I mean, if someone's attacking your 30K, I think you're probably okay with that.
Yeah, they're going to lose a couple of cards just to get up to 30.
All right, James drawing 2 cards here.
Here's the Awaken.
Okay, here's the Awaken. Interesting. I'll tell you something else interesting here. No field card out for announcer. That's pretty unfortunate. He's been through a lot of cards. Does he still run the field card in his deck? I mean,
no.
He doesn't.
I think, yeah, he's opted out of the field card. If you noticed, he doesn't play a lot of the his only real early drops that he swings with are the Goku Oob, and that's about it. And so
I think that's the right choice.
You can't really get a lot of
He's only running
you can't
6 non-battle cards.
yeah you can't get a lot of profit off it if there's nothing out there for to swing.
Marcel charging Cold Ball Lust. James not able to kill anything. Actually, no, he killed a Goten, right? So,
Yeah, he killed a Goten.
all right, so here's 30K. And the 15K, already beating him by double. Oh, no.
And here's another one.
No.
So he's going to have to stare down a 40 and a 30. So right now, they're going through the proper play for the Shigesh trigger. So how it works is Crusher Ball. Sorry, so for the come into play counter for the Shigesh, how that works is you have to blindly do it. So basically, as soon as he combos with Shigesh, he has to choose to activate Crusher Ball. And then at that point, Marcel can choose to put whatever card into play, and if he does, it comes into play tapped. So he opted to put the Goku into play, and it's tapped.
And you see there, he used the 30K to bait out the Crusher Ball for the mirror to come down.
First thing, because James is still at 3 life, right? Is he at 3 or 2?
He is at 2 now.
Oh, okay.
He took the attack from the
first
Goku.
Okay, yeah. So this is infinite amount of cards coming out.
So he's counting up, which I'm sure is going to be too much for him to handle.
Jeez. I don't know how much that is, but it's a lot.
I'm going to assume
It's the
that
answer.
this is
Yeah,
the game.
Holy crap.
And game 1 goes to Marcel.
Pretty convincingly. Those three, those vanilla 3-drop 30,000s are pretty devastating. And get ready to start match 2.
Stage 0, surprisingly, Marcel is not playing explosive Son Goku. And we see
Videl's such a cool
Videl
card.
just
Videl,
tap
my
draw.
favorite Saiyan mama. She's my favorite.
You don't like Chi-Chi?
I'd hate Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi's my least favorite character in the entire show. No, Bulma's awesome, obviously. I like Bulma a lot, too. I mean, all the Saiyan moms are cool except Chi-Chi, honestly. Like, Chi-Chi's just so freaking annoying to me. All right, there's the combo. Draw 2. Don't mind if I do. Announcer coming in, 10,000 to 10,000.
And this is a pretty good start for James.
Yeah.
It's, so one thing to note about the Roshi and the Mr. Swan, as I like to call him, they have 6K attack, so you can't really profitably swing into them with your leader early or things with 10K, because you could just simply combo 5K and that's it. They stay on the board. And then next turn, if they live, they replace themselves. So they're really sticky, and they go through your deck pretty quickly if you can get them out fast enough.
James just pitching announcer there.
And,
just like you said, to beat that 10K with one card.
Ever curious.
Goes from 6 to 11.
So, unfortunately, Marcel does not have any swap targets.
Ooh, Goten's oh, actually, no, Goten doesn't have swap. I can always forget that.
Yeah, Goten nor Videl. So, I think he's going to be looking for a Grandpa
he does
Gohan.
Have a swap 2-drop, maybe. Nope.
Nope.
I think he showed me the deck yesterday. I think it had like the 2-drop like Goku swap in it or whatever. The little Pick Goku. Does it have it in there at all?
I don't believe so.
Is that
this list doesn't have it.
It doesn't have it in it?
Nope.
I thought he had like another swap target, like a 2-drop that he could use to swap up.
Yeah, some of them like to play the 15K Goku.
Yeah. Gets a 3 cost off that draw from the leader swing. One piece of his combo achieved.
Mm-hmm. And he hit the magic number, 15K. It makes it hard for him to combo out of that one. And Galactic Frieza awakened on turn 2. That's it's pretty good. Definitely reminiscent of the Mecha Frieza era.
Yeah, I love it. It's a lot slower, you know. It's also not as profitable. And Mecha Frieza Awaken was just the most disgusting thing you ever seen in your life. It was just like, I will awaken with 1,000,000 cards in my hand and...
Turn 1.
Turn 1, and you haven't even played energy yet, so you go. All right, there's Goku. Kill both of those. Put him at the bottom of the deck, which is actually better than a kill in a lot of situations. Does it go to Overwhelm? That's important. I mean, does it go to drop for Overwhelm? All right, what's Marcel going to do here, you think?
I am thinking we're going to see some Shigesh.
Yeah. He could. I'll tell you what, though. Marcel could die here.
He is tapped out.
Yeah.
So
He's
if
at 3 life with the double striker on board, but I think James is going to be unable to. I think it was okay for James to go a little harder on that attack. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like with your opponent at 3 life, he really doesn't want to go to 2 against a double striker coming.
I believe Marcel's actually at 4 life. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that one is like.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I think it's
Okay.
layered a little funny.
Well, then James played that perfectly then. We'll send John over, let him check it out, see what he finds. Yep, he is at 4 life. Nice eyes there, Eagle Eye Fujimara.
Caw-caw.
That's not an eagle sound.
Eagle.
Sorry, Red Ribbon. We actually can't see James's hand. The chat is blocking James's hand. So that's the price we have to pay for before seeing chat. So I apologize. I did not see that he didn't have a hand.
So James is at 8 life.
I was also at the assumption that he had 3 life and not 4.
So James is going to start taking a bunch of these hits.
John, can you shrink this window down just a little bit? Just so like maybe the most recent like. Yeah, and then just put it like right here, maybe, or something. I don't know, find a place for it so we can maybe see the hands and stuff. It's gonna be tough to find the right spot for that, but. Marcel's 2 cold balls in here now. I think we've seen at least one. I think this is gonna block Marcel's hand though.
No, Masara sets his hand there. I think we'll be okay.
Nice. The cold lusts on the trunks.
All right, so cold bloodless on the trunks makes it so he can't
use the ability. But he can
use
still
the ability,
play.
but little does Marcel Russell know, James doesn't even have the Orotsuki in hand.
He doesn't?
No.
I haven't been able to see his hand the whole game, so yeah.
Wait, did he play it? Because I don't see an energy tapped. Maybe. Oh no, yeah. James just passed the turn.
Marcel attacking 10,000 into 10,000. Looks the top 3. Gets another 3-drop Goku and 2 cards we didn't see. Don't know what card he decided to take, but maybe we'll see it in his hand here. Kobolas, it looks like. Actually, no, it would be the topmost card, so it'd actually be the one up there we can't make out.
Try putting it here. Try putting the chat like right here. I think it would be. Yeah, I think that.
Okay,
that would be good,
that
right?
looks great. Yeah. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so now we can actually see both players' hand pretty well now.
So I don't know about you, but I am loving this Galactic Frieza deck.
It's so cool.
It's this is very refreshing to see. You know, I came in today expecting to see all Hercule and all U7 Frieza and all, you know, the meta decks.
Frieza we haven't seen.
And they are out there, but, you know, seeing these decks compete, you know, against the best of them is making for a wonderful regionals. So it does look like James did put in the Senzu Beans, so he is tipping his hat to the Gotens.
30,000. A little bit of a hit here. James is going to get that counter.
Giga10, David, do you think the deck would have a hard time without Shigesh into the 30k attacker? It definitely gives him the end game grindiness that the deck doesn't have without it otherwise. So it's really nodding towards combo centric decks like Hercule that you need to get it up to the high numbers, and with 30k flat attack, that forces decks like Hercule to go negative to the attack. So I think this deck is really well thought out by Marcel and is really approaching the meta well.
Because even if somebody did Krona, it's so low cost and the rest of the desk is so low curved out that he could still hardcast it and still be safe.
Yeah.
Also, it's important to realize that he is awakening on like turn 2 very frequently.
Yeah.
So like that's not that much time for his opponent to get Krona.
Yeah.
So if he wanted to, he could, you know.
If the opponent is playing it and doesn't play it turn 1, he could put it in. Theoretically, still Shigesh things into play.
Yeah. Dusty, are you broadcasting tomorrow also? Yes, Mr. Piccolo. I will be doing it tomorrow too. I think I'll be alone tomorrow though. We lose Fujimara tomorrow, but after he goes like 0-3, then he'll come on over and we'll continue.
That is the plan, at least.
And it's nobody's plan.
All right, so we're seeing an Awaken by James, and I'm hoping to see him able to apply a little more pressure here.
There we go, 50,000 to 50,000.
A Goku Oob would be pretty good, but it doesn't look like he has it in hand.
Out.
Oh, never mind. That's an Ox King in play. So Goku Oob would actually not be that guy.
Right.
Is that the secret in James's hand?
Yeah, Mr. Piccolo, I'd love to, man. Just come over, grab me, and I'll love to sign your leader card. Just like I said, come over, grab me, and we'll do it. All right, Marcel is going to 5 energy here, so this is probably where he'll stay until he feels like he can end the game, like we talked about before. He doesn't want it. He wants to stay off 6 energy if possible to prevent James from being able to use the secret rare.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't like the secret rare in that deck. I just feel like it's so easy to play around it. Maybe that's what, but maybe that makes it good. In fact, just the fact that you have to play around it.
Mm-hmm. Certain matchups, it's almost necessary to have to get through the grinding games, but at the same time, yes, it is. Good players will know to play around it. Right, so Marcel getting maximum value from these Gotens. I think these are the same 2 that have been played the entire game. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier, about how
This Ox King doesn't give himself barrier, though, right?
no. So if
You have to have 2 out.
you would have to have 2, but just 1 basically does the job because it prevents the other 2 from being removed until the Ox King is gone. So most decks aren't equipped with that. So James would need something like Trunks Otsutsuki into Mass Saiyan.
Does this deck survive Kami? Right? Like right now, if, set 5, for example, of course James can't play Kami announcer, but you know what I'm saying. Like, Kami seems like a good answer to this deck.
Kami Power Piccolo?
Yeah, the one that's like you just
pop something?
Well, you pop if your opponent has 4 or more cards.
Oh,
you wipe them all.
The one from 5 set. Yeah. Yeah. That makes the matchup really tricky. No, like that one's tough because you can technically sit on 2 to 3 guys on the board and still be okay and just replace them once they're gone. But it definitely would slow it down.
All right, here comes our 30,000 attack. And another counter by James.
So he's saving his negates for the 30Ks, which is smart. But will it be enough?
I love that Marcel keeps Videl alive. I think that card is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Even another one of your card plus 5k is, and you draw a card, so it's almost like you net 2 cards off that every time you use it.
It's a mini super combo every turn.
Yeah, every single turn. James will have to get something done this turn, or I'm afraid he might be dead.
Yeah, his hand is getting dangerously low. Marcel's hand is getting there as well, but his board is just so much more.
Yeah, his board is terrifying. Now, do they still get their buff? Goku and Noob? Or is it only the turn they're played, or how does that work?
For the Cold Bloodlust?
No.
he's talking
Oh,
about
oh.
Galactic.
No. I'm talking about like Goku.
Goku Oob gets the 5K just for the turn that they come into play.
Right, but like, so Goku, would he not have the 5K? Because he was in play last turn? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got you. That's a good question.
I have to read the cards. but
Yes.
I'm not.
I want to say they only get the 5K when the auto of Goku activates to put Oob into play.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean,
but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
So we're looking up the card real quick.
There's Goku.
So yeah, it's only when Goku puts Oob into play.
Okay, so it's not like, yeah, it makes sense. So it's not like the showdown.
No.
I couldn't remember which one triggered which one, so that makes sense. The old 35K. Ooh. Question. Did Marcel play the battering too fast? When you play Nimbus, do you have to discard for Nimbus's effect before battering's played?
No. So
Oh, hang on, somebody.
oh no, it just got adjusted back.
It's actually
Oh no, yeah, that's a spectator.
yeah, it looks like a spectator hit the camera, but
Yeah. This is actually feature match area, so he should be going away. So no,
actually it was.
the discard from Nimbus is only upon resolution. It's part of the effect. So
Okay.
so battering's discard is part of the cost. So if you battering, they still have to
They still have to
discard the yellow.
Sure, makes sense.
But Nimbus is a secondary effect only upon resolution.
Yeah, it's an auto upon resolution, whereas discard for battering is cost.
Okay, makes sense.
So he's coming in with Mir
Welchie,
now.
it's me and it's Dusty and David Fujimura.
And Gigaton, you did spell it correctly. Thank you. Not even my boss Dusty could spell it right.
Can't you? Spell it right multiple times.
It was Fujimura this morning.
Fujimura is so much better
Yeah.
because it's like a character, but also Fu
Yeah.
Jimara is cool too.
Yeah. That's what I was going for, but Mira is good. I will give you that. I didn't think of that one. So, high five.
High five for you. Here it comes. Whole bunch.
And here's the Marcel hand dump.
Yep.
The patented signature move.
Looks like James is gonna go for it. I don't think he can get there though. Game. Yeah.
and
Or
that's game.
James.
Unfortunate
Very
matchup.
well built deck.